dogs. Tonight, moderate threat levels for large hail, damaging winds with tornadoes possible. Take your safety precautions beforehand. Don't wait till it's too late for safety. Go to the library basement or the old science building basement. Don't wait too late. Also, going into next week, temperatures are going to be in the 70s and low 40s. So say hello to fall, y'all, and dress appropriately. See you next week.
So Jonathan, how does one apply to be an RA?
Well, first of all, you have to have mad talent to be an RA. And so at the end of each semester, Resident Life and Housing will have flyers posted in every single resident hall. And then how I did it is that I just scanned a little QR code, and then that took me to the application process, to the application form. And then I filled out my information, just like some basic questions about my resume and whatnot. And then I got a call about a week later saying we would like to schedule for an interview. I went in for my interview, and then about a week later I got a call from a housing coordinator asking me to essentially become an RA here at Oklahoma Hall.
What does the job entail? What do you do as an RA?
Well, as an RA, I basically make sure that our residents here at the resident halls, that they are comfortable and that they are succeeding not only as a student but a resident here at SWOSU. And you know, I also do little details such as giving out mail, and I hand out recreational items such as pool sticks or ping pong supplies as well. And yes, it's just a really fun job and I love it.
What does your day-to-day look like as an RA?
Well, I usually, wake up and get ready for the day, and I go to my classes, and then I usually sit at the desk for my scheduled time. Depending on the day if I'm working there or not. My hours are very flexible considering that they actually do work with your schedule here, in resident life. So I'm very fortunate about that. But yeah, I just sit at the desk some days, and other days I'm just a normal student. What I like about being an RA is that I get to interact with different people on a day-to-day basis, and I get to meet really awesome residents, as well as putting on fantastic events such as our Sip and Paint Night here at Oklahoma Hall right now. And also, I really like interacting with all the other resident life staff, such as the other RAs, housing coordinators, or anyone that just works in the office as well.
So obviously sometimes there are challenges to being an RA. So what do you think are some of the downsides of being an RA?
A couple of the downsides of being an RA is that you get very socially drained, and that you really do crave that alone time to yourself. And to kind of combat that, I really do spend quite a bit of time in my room, as opposed to being, down here or anywhere else on campus socializing. Another downfall of being an RA is that it is extremely time consuming. Your schedule is jam-packed with either, working at the desk, or, you're busy doing your class duties as well. And then, it's just very busy sometimes.
And lastly, you did say that at the end of each semester that Res Life puts up flyers that way students can apply. Since we are in October, when do you think that flyers will be going up for next semester to apply?
I can predict that flyers could be going up anywhere from mid to late November, or maybe even early December. I don't really remember whenever they go up specifically, but keep looking around that time. And you do have to be a sophomore to apply to be an RA. You have to have 30 credit hours to be able to be part of resident life staff.
All right, well, thank you so much, Jonathan, for sitting down and talking to me about how to be an RA.
Well, thank you so much for having me, you guys. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Auburn Fippen. I'm Nayeli Valencia.
And I'm Uriel Luna.
And I'm here reporting for the Southwestern at Halo Latin Dance Night. And this month is Hispanic Herritage Month. And I'm with these two lovely people, and they are going to tell me what does it mean to you guys? What does this month mean to you guys? Just talk about that.
Well, Hispanic Heritage Month to me means basically celebrating our heritage culture. We have many different events. Dia de los Muertos is basically celebrating our loved past ones. We have our music, our food. It's very fun to get together. Hispanics are very family oriented, so when we have parties, we gather together in big groups, and it's so much fun. It's very fun.
Well, like she said, it's kind of a celebration of our people, you know, Hispanic, Latino. And I think because a lot of us face maybe that they might be scared to celebrate their heritage because they might face some like discrimination factor or something. They're just scared to be, you know, classified, you know, as Hispanic. But I just think it's a good month to just say, yes, I'm Hispanic and I'm proud of it. I'm not gonna hide it. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. That's who I am. That's who I was born to be. Who I'm gonna be. So I think it's a good month that should be celebrated.
I love that. And so I know you're president of Halo Club. So tell me what it's like being president. Kind of just like some things that you have to do maybe throughout the week or every month. Just some of your duties that you do as president of the club.
So basically, I help our sponsor with our allocation packets, having funding to be able to do these events for Halo. Other things are setting up meetings and having, I don't know, just other meetings with members and our officers. Yes.
And I know your social media. Tell me again, social media.
Social media coordinator / community service.
There you go. So what are some things that you have to do for the club?
Well, so far, I've been mostly being the social media coordinator, meaning I share events across all our platforms, which is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and I just share different events. I've also been sharing like different info about Hispanic Heritage Month, so then people can know about what is it, what events will happen, and so on and so forth.
So if anyone Hispanic on campus is wanting to join the club, how do they get a hold of you, or how's a good way for them to join the club? Is that a question for you?
Well, basically, some way that members, and you do not have to be Hispanic to join, we would love everybody to join. So a way that you can get a hold of us is on our Facebook, Instagram, and our Twitter accounts. And if you see any of our officers on campus, you are more than welcome to talk to us and ask us about it. We do have a group me and we can add you right away. Our sponsor, she's in the education building in 118, and you can also go to her as well if you want any more information about anything.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for talking
you.
to me. Thank you.
Hello, Bulldogs. I'm Rachel Masson, and I'm here with your sports segment. Starting off with football, last week the Bulldogs lost in Monticello, Arkansas. However, this weekend, during SWOSU Saturday, they will be playing a home game against Ouachita Baptist at 2 p.m. Moving on to men's golf, earlier this week, the Bulldogs tied for 8th at the Missouri Southern Invitational. Their next tournament will be next week, October 11th through the 12th, in St. Joseph, Missouri, for the Central Regional Invitational. Women's golf earlier this week finished 7th at the Grace Shin Invitational that was held in Edmond, Oklahoma. Their next tournament will be next week, October 10th through the 11th in Hot Springs, Arkansas for the HSU Regional Preview. Moving on to volleyball, they won all 3 of their games last week and remain undefeated at home. Their next game will be against Henderson State on October 7th and against Ouachita Baptist on October 8th, both held in Arkadelphia. On to soccer. They went into double overtime last week against Northwestern Oklahoma State University and ended the game in a tie. However, they beat ECU last Saturday in a game that was 2-1. Moving on to rodeo, they are currently competing at Oklahoma State University until October 9th. And lastly, for cross country, they have a meet this weekend in Wichita Falls, Texas at the Mustangs Invitational. For more information on games and scores, visit the SWOSU Athletics webpage. That's it for your sports segment this week. And remember, SCO Dogs.
What can you tell us about GSM Project and its goals?
So GSM Project, first and foremost, is just a place for LGBT people and allies to just come and hang out, and for it to just be a safe place for those people and those communities. But after that, we also like to provide educational workshops for just the students and faculty on campus, so that they can just be better educated and informed about, you know, issues and topics such as anything from sexual identities to gender identities, pronouns, things like that.
Yeah, so when does your club meet?
We meet every Wednesday in the Stafford Building, room 110, and those usually last about an hour or two.
And what other events do you think are coming up for GSM in the future?
So right now, our closest upcoming event is actually going to be the Wednesday after fall break. Our annual Coming Out Stories Night, or Coming Out Night as we call it. It's basically just an event that we host for anyone in our club or not to tell their stories of coming out, or maybe their experiences growing up, and just gives them a voice to be heard so that people can, really understand some of the issues that we go through, and just some of the prejudices that we face. And anyone is invited to that as well. We encourage and invite any students and faculty to please come and just hear these people out, hear their stories.
Well, that's really inspiring. Thank you so much, Rose.
Of course.